This video will demonstrate how to order a heparin infusion. Prior to prescribing any medications, we must always first navigate to the MAR and check the MAR to make sure we don't already have this medication charted. After reviewing the MAR, I can see that I don't have a heparin infusion charted, so I'll go to the order screen and I will order a heparin infusion power plan. There are multiple power plans available depending on the treatment that you're delivering for your patient. For this demonstration, I'll be choosing the Heparin IV Infusion DVT or PE Adult Power Plan. This is a multi-phase power plan. To the left of the screen here, we can see that we have the Heparin IV Infusion order phase. This is what will be demonstrated in this video. We also have subsequent phases for if your patient's APTT is less than 55, 55 and 70, target range 111 to 130, 131 and 200, and greater than 200. Each of these phases has instructions and orders. This will be shown in a separate video. For this demonstration, we'll just be initiating the heparin infusion. I've clicked onto the appropriate phase, and for more room on my screen, I'll be closing off the view here. The top sections of this power plan here refer to parts 1 and 2 of the paper form. When we see this icon here, we can click on this icon and it'll open up an electronic version of the paper form. For this demonstration, I will only be showing the initiating heparin sections of this power plan. Please note that if your area does not bolus, then you would not be required to use this order here. For demonstration today, I'll be selecting the bolus by ticking into this checkbox here. A calculator appears on the screen and it has the target dose, it's pulled through my patient's weight, and it's calculated a final dose. I will now click Apply Dose. And you'll see that the dose populates down here in the order entry fields. It is important to note that if you think it's clinically appropriate to modify that dose, you can do so here. You'll also notice on the order sentence that the maximum dose for this bolus is 8,000 units. However, it is important to note that the system will cap the maximum dose to be 8,000 units. Next, we have the infusion. I'll click inside the box to select the infusion, and I'll also order this follow-up APTT, which has been time offset for 6 hours' time. To initiate my heparin infusion, I have my bolus, my infusion, and my follow-up APTT. When I click Initiate Now, a calculator will appear on the screen to let me know what rate to run my infusion at. It's pulled through the patient's weight of 95 kilos, and we see here that if the patient is less than 84 kilos, we'll use 18 units per kilo per hour, or if they're equal to or greater than 84 kilos, we'll use 16 units per kilo per hour. So we need to remember that rate, as we'll pop that in on the next screen. We now have the missing mandatory field icon, so if I click onto the infusion, I'll put the rate in the normalized rate field here. I'll now click on Orders for Signature. Prior to signing on this screen here, I'll be very carefully checking my orders to make sure that they're all correct and that I've made no errors. I have a bolus at 7,600 units. I have a heparin infusion at 16 units per kilo per hour. And I have a follow-up APTT in 6 hours' time. I'll now sign for these orders. I'll refresh my screen, and it is best practice to always navigate to the MAR and refresh the MAR to make sure that your orders have populated correctly onto the MAR. I can see my heparin infusion is here, and my bolus is at the top here. If you'd like to see them together, you can actually view via Power Plan. So if I click down onto Plan View here, I can filter my MAR down to just the power plan that I'm working on. So if I click onto the heparin infusion order power plan, and it will group my two orders together. For heparin infusion management, please watch the heparin infusion management video. If you require more assistance with heparin infusions, you can find resources on Metro South Digital, or you can call the Adoption Services team. They can be contacted on extension 8800, or if you're calling externally, you can contact them on 3176 8800.